you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on my streets, in the heart of the jungle.
PES 2019 has an unenviable task ahead of it. Having lost out on the UEFA Champions League and Europa League rights to long-term rivals FIFA, Konami's flagship football sim is in danger of falling by the wayside. Compared to FIFA 19's laundry list of features and new additions, things appear bleak. Fortunately, football isn't one on paper. Konami is confident enough to let the game do the talking on the pitch. PES 2019 is a subtle refinement that may not entice newcomers, but still amounts to one of the best and most beautiful football games around. For the first time in years, you're immediately taken aback by just how pretty it all looks. Presumably saved on the FIFA license isn't merely burning a hole in Konami's bank account. In fact, new global illumination lighting technology has been brought in to ensure that everything looks and feels just right. Shadows drape over the pitch depending on the time of day, and even the manner in which the light reacts to players' movement is unparalleled now.
Can he dig out a shot? Has a pop! It's a goal!
Visually, this is the closest a football game has ever come to replicating its real-life counterpart, and certain top and licensed teams had us doing double takes on more than one occasion. Small changes elsewhere are guaranteed to please fans. Quick subs have finally been introduced and are an improvement on FIFA's, as they allow a rapid-fire changeover from any position at any time in the game, not just when certain players are low on stamina. The fundamentals of actually playing football have been tweaked this year too. It takes a while to get used to the heavier first touch system, but the upside is that it allows for the game's flow to change in a heartbeat. Gone are the pinball-esque pass-a-thons of the past, and in place you find yourself pressing smarter and controlling the space more intelligently than ever before. It's no exaggeration to say that PES 2019 will make you gain a greater understanding of the beautiful game in ways FIFA never could, even if matches do tend to be a little slower. But even then, it's a trade-off you're willing to take once you're half a dozen or so games in. But what good is having a fantastic football game when there's very little to get excited about in the way of modes and other features? That's where PES 2019 stumbles somewhat. Master League is back, inevitably, yet you're going to have to go through the iconic mode with a fine-toothed comb to notice any changes. A challenge difficulty has been introduced to Master League, which brings the game more in line with FIFA's career mode, and real-life goings-on in terms of realistic transfers and the ever-looming spectre of the sack hanging over you is a welcome arrival and adds some much-needed pressure to proceedings. The 7 new licensed leagues, Turkey, Scotland and even an exclusive Russian league, all make an appearance, and they can't be sniffed at, but the fact remains that if you didn't like Master League in previous years, then you're not going to find much here for you, as it's practically untouched. That's not to say there's been no movement elsewhere, far from it. It just fails to really grab your attention. My club has received the biggest overhaul, but even that's lagging behind FIFA. Featured players, essentially in-form players picked by Konami, and legends are in this time around, but there's very little else to shout about on that front. It still feels like a sterile, shoehorned-in feature that just makes you pine for the far superior, far more addictive Ultimate Team. Other than that, there are minor niggles that can occasionally put a few wrinkles in the game. Goalkeepers blow hot and cold yet again, with surreal goal-length catches and messy spills, both able to be pulled off by the same keeper in the same game. The AI too heavily favours a low cross from the byline, which will hopefully be patched out sooner rather than later, such is its frequency and overpowered, often game-changing outcome. Commentary, as can be expected, ranges from banal to irritating and even just plain wrong.
Has a hit! That really should have hit the net.
It was more possible than probable, and the outcome backed it up, Peter.
Still, for the majority of people, the main course, the actual moment-to-moment football, is going to keep them coming back again and again, despite the game's wider flaws. When the game hits its stride, as it so often does, PES 2019 is unmatched in the genre. Everything you'd expect a football game to include is here, from the sublime slaloming runs right down to the warts and all stodginess of a game where your passing isn't quite clicking and your opposition are proving tough to break down. Crunching tackles fly in, shots pleasingly smack off the woodwork, and a quick shimmy leaves a defender for dead. After all this, you're instantly transported back to the days of old school Pro Evo, where substance always mattered over style. This year is further than ever from FIFA's all-action approach, and is far more realistic and gratifying in its execution, and it's all the better for it. PES 2019 is still very much a hard sell to all but the most ardent, who will religiously buy Konami's newest entry, and this year the quantifiable new features are very much lacking. Hardcore FIFA fans too will find little here to tempt them outside of the handful of exclusive leagues and features. But regardless of all that, PES 2019 is a game you'll like and very much enjoy in extended spells. However, the nagging feeling, despite the superb football, remains. More could have been done here to set it apart from its contemporaries and even against past Pro Evo entries, but you'll be having too much fun to care about that. We give it 4 out of 5. So that's what we thought of PES 2019. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Click the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to hit that big button in the middle to subscribe for more gaming news, reviews, previews and features right here on Games Radar Plus.